This is an oral history interview with Francisco DaCosta by Carla Brown, conducted on April 6, 1987, at Beth L. Temple Center in Belmont, Massachusetts. This interview is conducted as part of the Oral History Project of Boston College and Newton Public Library. The general subject areas that we will be covering include the social and cultural aspects of living in Oak Hill, the family and community as well, and also the work that the people in Oak Hill participated in.
Newsletters that I have saved. Nothing. I'm sure there's most of those things in here you're not concerned with. I just grabbed what I could and put it here. It's funny. I know your name, but it's Brown. Now,
Carla's my first name.
yes, I every time I want to use it, I remember, but now that I need it, Carla, yes.
Okay.
Now, give me more of a picture of what you're after.
Okay, what we're trying to do is we're doing the oral history of Newton, and we wanted to find out a little bit of information about what you remember about. You live in Oak Hill or Oak Hill
Yes.
Park?
Oak Hill Park.
Okay, we wanted to know just what the life was like about in Oak Hill Park
At what period?
between 1920 and 1950. If you don't remember the exact.
1920, I wasn't there. I moved in 1954.
Oh, okay.
However, I've heard little things of that when you got to do. Let's just glance. I don't really know what I have here because I just threw everything together.
Okay.
Now, let me say this may be a greater value to you. This came out recent. This is probably what you need. Newton Community School, leader group. That's the group I was belonging to. No, not that. That's special. No, that's not it either. Think it must be in here.
Okay.
I think this is going to be of more value to you than. No, this is right. This may not be the one. Check to add things. I think it's going to be blue sleeves. Yeah, here it is.
Okay.
History of Oak Hill Park in planning stage. The library, of the Oak Hill Park branch of the Museum of Art is interested in contacting Long Life to what the two doing. Now, residents in an effort to create an oral history of Oak Hill Park. Residents who live blah blah in the late 40s are first. So, I'm going to give you all I can, and if you wish more, I'll tell you, they're right in the park. You contact her and you want to get more.
Okay. I think this is probably the program we're doing with our school.
Okay. Okay, you want to, is that, if there's only one library, there's only one place that can get information.
Okay.
All right? Just keep that in mind. Should I not give you enough, or should you wish to get more, you know where to go to. Now, let's see what they have here. These are all pictures. I was so-called the president or the spokesman for the club. This is one of the pictures we took. This is my wife after this on last July. Here she is, and here I am. Ugly old
I didn't recognize you.
No, the pictures are not. Although I don't think I look any better, but however. Now, what do I have here? I used to look at them too, so this is probably something I picked up. I don't know. I just threw everything in here.
All right, what was this that you were on?
Where was this taken?
Yeah, what was this?
Well, about 3 or 4 years ago, the people in that area wanted to find a place to meet, maybe a community place. So we started, now this is already history. We started, about 5 or 6 people started meeting in one of the classrooms of the Schechter School. There's a Schechter School there now. Solomon Schechter School. It's still there. It's a private Jewish school. So we sat in one room that was being used as a library. Okay? Now, it was not designed for meeting. Sat in the aisle with 2 tables and just sat. And then, of course, the people were not particularly content with that. So, could we have another place? Could we have a place of our own? Started. Well, we looked around, and at that time, there's a big area there which was a shopping center. Now, that shopping center started, I remember the first year I came in 1954, there was no shopping center, and I saw them establish that. That big area was city property. Excuse me. And they decided to make a shopping center. Oh, that was a community of about 500 families, you would think.
Well, where'd you used to shop if you didn't have a shopping
We got in
center?
our cars and we went where there was a store. We still do it.
Wow.
I'll tell you how we do that.
Okay.
You don't have to be told.
Yeah, I want everything you have to say.
Well, have you got it on now?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it. I didn't know you. Fine. So they started a long chain of stores. I would say roughly, I'm visualizing the area, 1, 2, maybe 300 or 400 feet from. They had a large grocery store which was called the Basket Market. Basket Market, I think that was it. And then they have a beauty parlor, they have a gas station and everything. The barber shop is still there. A ballroom in King's Circle. A tailor shop, beauty. It's a bar, yes, that's it. However, they didn't do well for the reason that everyone there has a car, or 2 or 3. And the prices in this grocery store were high because it's one little private, and you know this very well. Private people cannot compete with large dealing chain stores. So they ran out. Then another company came in. I don't recall their name, and they too were doomed. So these places were empty most of the time, vacant. And that means no rent. So the fellow who owned the buildings now got that property. The part that was established by where these buildings were owned by some private parties. So there was no rent, and what happens when you don't have the rent? You start looking around for ways to get out of it. So he finally decided to tear about half of it down. Now, there may be pictures here. I'll count through.
Okay.
There were some. So about half of all that was turned on the grocery store, and which was a large area, I would say 2/3. No, roughly. I don't really know proportion. So they were torn down, and to make a long story short, condominiums were raised, substituted. So let me say again, 1/2 of this whole area now is torn down, and condominiums are now replacing that. They still have no more gasoline stations. They went out of business, but there's a little shop now, plumbing shop, and there's a barber, and there's a convenience store for selling quick, little things like that. They somehow are surviving. We can think they're through that. They succeeded. Well, that's about it. Now, these condominiums, I think they were being sold for about $60,000. It's crazy now. And they're all taking, now they're all taking advice. Well, anyone, whether you're a senior citizen or not. As a matter of fact, the whole park is very diversified in population. We have Chinese, we have Japanese, we have Negroes, we have, you name them. We have them. We have most Florida Jews, American, You name it, they're there.
Has it always been like that? Or?
Well, originally, now you don't know, probably don't know this. The whole area was originally designed for homes for the veterans. If you notice, all the streets, most of the streets are named after some, the general or whatever. Then a lot of them are like P roads, A, B, C, D roadway, alphabetically arranged. Well, anyway, it was designed for, and strange enough, when they completed these, what they call ranch, simple, basic, the same building, untouched, and there are a few, now will usually have to pay $80,000 to $90,000. It's crazy. But that's what happened. The government, as a recognition of a thank you to the veterans, made these homes. Their annual summer, their slab ground, their pipes of copper heated by water. There's a name for that I can't think of. And so they were sold first. So this is way back now. The year exactly, I don't know. I moved in 1964, and this was established already. I would say roughly maybe 10 years before that. Well, the war ended in 1947?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. It was before. Then I'm just guessing. Okay. Now it's most of these people gone.
Are there families there?
I'm talking about the original people. Most of them are dead. All moved. There's been a great changeover. So now we don't have veterans. Maybe a few. I don't really know who they are. I did know a few, but they're gone now. Now it's anybody who wants to buy it. I'm repeating, we have universities. Everybody. If you can buy a property, that's legal. I'm repeating now. Everybody. Okay? Okay. Now, coming back to our building, we looked around and we knew that this plot of land, which was owned by, which was, I think now, was owned by the city, but leased, part of it was leased, that is the business, a business zone, excuse me again. Now, exactly how this is, I don't know. I'm sort of trying to put together what I'm talking to you. The lot was the whole area, and let me see if I can give you an idea how big it was. Very rough. I never measured it. I would say about 1,000 feet, and maybe 500 feet. Let's call it an oblong. Front, 1,000. That's a round figure, about 500. Okay. Now this area is for going into the store, a parking lot. All right, for the cars to deal with the people coming in here. All right, so now let's recreate again. So that went on, and the store failed. So the man who owned that apparently must have owned those store area. Said to the city, "Won't you sell me this land here?" And so I can build condominiums, but I must have land for the people who own the condominiums to park the cars. So the city said, well, we'll talk about it and we'll try to work up a deal. So the deal finally turned out, this is okay, we'll sell it to you for, I think it's $10,000. Now, in the corner here, the people already in the neighborhood have requested, can we have a place, a community center? There was no place in the whole park, all the land was taken. So the only place you could look to was there. Well, the city said, okay, you build a community center, which is almost like a home, not the same area as a home, on ground level. And it came to $33,000. That was part of the agreement. It must be, that was evaluated as $33,000 or $30,000 too. And you give us $10,000 for the land, and that's it. We'll give you that. So that was the contract. You know, this is all had to be negotiated through City Hall. So that was what happened. And they did that. And I think it was about 3 or 4 years. Good 2 years now that this was completed. I as one of the many people, they had to go to the city level and talk to them, so yes, we know. But, you know, they don't, as a rule, you have to fight for them. You learn that. It's kind of more usually. So that was that, and they built a community center, a very nice little building, and gave us kitchen facilities, like everything, ovens and refrigerators and hot water, the big hall where we used to meet, and 2 men's room, women's room, closet space, storage space, and but it, you know, mostly a big part of the design for.
And what kind of things do you have there?
Well, anything that first, what happened was actually in these meetings that originated in the library, we finally were permitted to use the school's cafeteria, dining area for the kids. The school allowed us to use the area that was used by the kids to eat. We finally, senior citizens, were allowed to use that to use that once a week. So we go in there and we have peanut butter. Tell you, the kids now, they are, we have to sweep the floors, pick up the crumbs and stuff. But, you know, like everything else, when it's fresh, you don't mind it. After a while, it gets a little tired. But anyway, we met there until that building was completed.
So what did you used to do? I mean, you didn't have there was no community
There was a
center.
room. Oh,
And
well.
you know, further back, did you have meetings?
No. Well, now I heard, this is before my time,
Okay.
that attempts were made to have community meetings, but they were done there at home, wherever. There was no facilities. And that petered out. It's not easy. I don't know if you're familiar with group things. It's not easy to get people together. People don't think, I don't think God knows when you look together. There always seems to be some friction. Anyway, that was, and how I got mixed up. I had no intention ever involved in this thing. But one of the residents, one day while I was shoveling snow in my driveway, he said, why don't you come over? We find you're a senior citizen. I said, okay. So I dropped in and I sat down and then began to talk about how to do it. And they turned after the second meeting, this is, we want you to take care of this, we want us to be present. Well, that didn't tickle my funny bone at all, I assure you. However, I said, I have no good reason to say no. So I got involved, and for 4 years, I helped to organize whatever it was. So I had helped some of these people. Now this, my wife passed away last July, and so I told Sylvia, she's now taking care of us. I said, Sylvia, I can't handle it, so you take over. So as of that time, she took over. Now, she lived in that condominium that I just mentioned that I built. She's gone. My wife is gone. She's still here. I don't know about her. She's mentally gone. I used to take these people to lunch and here. I used to do it here. I used to 5 people. I was easy enough. I don't know if she's alive. There's a lot of them here. Anyway, that's the reason I kept that picture.
Was your wife active in the community?
She helped me. This is probably one of the times. Yeah, this is probably the first time that we opening. I'm not too sure. This is Cynthia Crean. Do you know her? She's the alderwoman now of this ward that we're in Ward 8. Aldermen or alderwomen. Have your choice. This is Mayor Mann. This is Rabbi, can't think of it, at the Sheikh School. He's the principal, the rabbi there. This is one of your City Hall people. I forgot his name. This is your truly. I forgot. City Hall people. These are City Hall people. This was at the time involved in community schools. That's all I can remember. She's still alderman, alderwoman, and because she's still there.
What was I going to ask you?
We put this in a bulletin board. Look at somebody. We have 6 people.
Have there always been temples? Are there temples there?
The temple was originally the memorial school. I think this is a tourism part. Memorial school. Old Park Memorial School. I don't know whether it was called Old Park. It was called Memorial School. And here's our DIs coming back from the service, and more babies came into existence, and we need schools, don't we? So the school was put up. And then they grew up, like all babies do, and they move away, and they're little children, and it came to the time we don't need school. So the city rented the area of the school to the Solomon Shepherd people. I think they have more branches throughout the city. That's the history of the school. It is still there. They're expanding. They are expanding that. Whatever they can.
Are there any other religious buildings in the area?
No.
Okay.
There is not in that area. There is another synagogue, but not. It's in Oak Hill, but not. I don't know if we call it Oak Hill. There's an Oak Hill Street that goes from Dedham Street. Are you familiar with the area?
Yes.
Well, you know where Dedham Street goes all the way down and ends in Baker, right? Now, the last street on your left before you get to Baker is called Oak Hill Street.
Oh, okay.
Right? At the end of that, there's a temple called Temple Avoda, 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 Avoda or Avoda. That's good. That's been there for a while. That too has evolved from a smaller community to a larger temple, like most institutions.
Well, being Jewish in this area, did you feel any kind of tension?
I'm not Jewish, my dear.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
No. You'd never guess what I am.
What are you?
Well, I'm going to let you guess. You'd never guess what I am. My wife is Jewish. But I'm not Jewish. Never guess. I could be. Matter of fact, somebody told that. I went to Temple Israel, you know? Temple Israel? Right at the end of sometime I'll try to insist on names and won't come. Longwood Avenue and Riverway Street. Right on the corner there, right when you pass the old bridge. Are you familiar with that place? Well, you know where this temple, the hospital.
Yes, that's
Yeah, that's Brookline Street, is it not?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, just at the end of it, right where the riverway is, that follows the river,
Uh-huh.
that's Riverway.
Oh.
Along with bumps into that, there's a very large building right on the corner. I passed by there many a time. And it's the Cook Temple. It's Temple Israel. Very that's what people used to do. Well, someone gave me a ticket, and I went there with my friend. And when I left the next day, one of the people, one day he worked there, he says, I was talking to Rabbi, and he said, he'd like to come home. So, I can be a Jew. I said, my dear fellow, at my age, let's forget about it. However, I did say, and this is my paper saying, if you have any philosophy that I like, I'm going to ask your permission to take it. I don't need labels, or I don't need your permission or any official. Me, that's my philosophy. Anyway, okay, you haven't guessed.
Protestant?
That's not a race. No, that's not a race.
Okay.
You said I was Jewish. Oh, I see. You're still operating on the. You're still operating on the religious aspect. No, what am I? German, French, Italian.
Okay.
Well, that's what I thought.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. That's hard.
It is hard. Okay, I'm from Portuguese descent.
Oh, I would have never guessed that.
Of course you wouldn't. No, I know you wouldn't. No, that's why I play games with you. Okay, now, every year we've had, we have an Oak Hill Park Association.
Mm-hmm.
That is a group of, officially, I would say 4 or 5 men that keep an eye on what's going on in the area and keep a finger on what's going on in the area. So if they're complaining, it is an official body that can be heard.
Oh.
You know, if I go to City Hall and say, hey, I don't want this, I don't like that, they'll say, ha, ha, you know. But if 4 or 5 officials, recognized officials of association, they can't, ha, you can't.
Yeah.
They have, well,
Listen to you.
the old story. Well, Robert and I, when we first put up that center, or when the center was first completed, there are many things unfinished. And many, for instance, he and I and a few other people, we actually rolled up our sleeves and painted it and repaired it and put on lights, and we did a lot of it. Now, Robert was an attorney, and he passed away, I'd say roughly now, 3 years, 2, 3 years. He passed away. A fine person. I worked with Robert, and we enjoyed walking and stuff. And he just talked about it. Trevor Four. Yeah. Now, Robert had coronary trouble, and he left 2 children, and a wife. I think they still live there. So I just kept that for that reason.
Do you still live in the same house as you
I bought the house, and I just put it there. Because it's somewhere. It's as good a place as any.
Did you come here from Portugal and move into that house?
I was born in New Mexico.
Okay, so your parents...
My parents came from the Azores, which are Portuguese possessions. Not Portugal itself. Portugal, as you probably recall from history, in the 15th century, were great explorers. Went out, they got Brazil, they went to Angola, they took it to Laos, they went to China. They still have little pieces in China. Very small pieces of territory in China. Then, of course, unfortunately, they didn't manage. Are you Catholic?
No.
Okay, good. I think the Catholic Church keeps people down. I was brought up as a Catholic. I think they keep the people down. Now, there was pie in the sky, and we cut to the point where we wanted now. And here, well, I mean, you know it because your people have passed I've had it. And you know what I'm talking about. Well, you're not the only people. I mean, if you look around in history, there's a lot of suppression going on. For a minute, people are being suppressed. So that,
And you didn't feel that in the community at all when you moved there?
no. No, well, they are much more enlightened today. Look, I told you, we got everybody there now.
Yeah. But when you moved in originally?
No, well, they didn't have as many.
Oh, okay.
They kept coming in, repeating. Actually, this might sound strange. They don't really, I don't think this is confined to that area. This is generally speaking, I've made that observation. People generally don't look too easily. I've made that observation right here. Now, I throw myself in. See, I'm a foreigner. Now, if you walked in there, you'd never know I'm a foreigner because they've all accepted me. I've worked for that. Because, you know, my attitude, my behavior, as I'm tearing down, I don't believe in barriers. They are poisons in our world. I hate labels. You run out?
No, I just don't label.
Labels to me is a little bit of philosophy to you. I feel like I teach to you because I'm only an older person. Labels are poisons. They stamp stigmas and all that.
Do you think you've grown to that view, or you've always had that?
No, I've grown to that. I was brought up with the Baptist, very ignorant people, simple folk, but ignorant. My father and mother had rules, schooling. I didn't even know how to speak English when I went to school. I learned it in the streets, I guess, at school. I speak Portuguese fluently. I can speak it. Matter of fact, I'm a volunteer at the Science Museum and the medical department. And Saturday afternoon, there was a young girl came in. I'm deviating a little bit. I'm showing off. This young girl came in with a boyfriend, and I began to talk. I was describing the skull, the bowling in the skull, and she looked, you know, at me as though I could see she didn't know what I was talking about. So I said, "Does she speak English?" I said, "Well, what are you?" "I'm from Brazil." I said, "Oh," then I began to talk Portuguese. Now I don't get a chance to speak it very often. Because my environment, there's nobody there to talk to. But you don't forget it completely. It's rusty, to be sure. Now, I tell you what I did in 1965. My wife and I went to Portugal and we stayed there totally 3 weeks. 2 weeks in Portugal and 1 week in the Azores, but not particularly long. But before that, the trick I tried, well, the trick that I found myself to do, I got myself a history book, Portuguese, and I would work with MIT. Before work, I would read out loud, which meant I was taking the rust out, and getting acquainted with some of the history. A skill that two-thirds of them studying. So when I got there, and when I told these people that I was American, which I am, I was born in America, they couldn't believe it. You know, after all, for American, you don't speak any other language.
Do you have brothers and sisters and stuff?
My brother was killed in the war, the first war. Not the first real war, in New Guinea. He was younger than I was.
So he was also born in there?
Yeah. My father and mother, they came to America. Even though they lived a couple of streets away from each other, over there, they didn't know each other. They came to America and they met each other, and then they got married. They came to Fall River, you know that is?
Yeah.
Well, that's 15 miles from the back. They landed there, got married. At that time, the big thing was textile. I put in 2 years of textile. I know what a textile factory is.
And where were they located?
Big one?
Where were they located? Were they located in the
in the south end of the Gulf. Specifically, the name of the place called DaCosta. I can't really forget that. I was 14 years old when I first started to work. 3 days after my birthday. I don't know, should I bother you with these details or something?
I'm interested.
You're interested, okay. I was hoping you would be. 3 days after my birth, my 14th birthday. Imagine a 14-year-old kid. Now, I wanted to go to work. My father said, you better stay in school. Everybody, all my friends were working with money. That attracted me. See, in those days, I never had money. Today, the kids are doled out, what is it called, spending money? No such thing in those days. So money was a big thing. Although we had all the basics. I was never hungry. I never needed clothing. I had the basics, but I never had money. So here's my friends now working, and they get spending money. That got me. So I wanted. Well, it didn't take too long. I found out I made a mistake. Right after, not very long, I began to go to night school. You know, a little more later
Wait a
on.
minute, do you mean you quit high school? Or
I quit 7th grade.
Oh.
7th grade. In those days, I was 14.
Okay.
I didn't go to school until I was 7 or 8. It was a lot different from today's world. A lot different.
Okay, wait a minute. So you said you worked at MIT.
Well, I'll get to that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I know there's a little inconsistency that I'll get to that.
Okay.
I mean, I would like to, but if you are
No, I want you to tell
okay,
me.
this
but
is not that.
I just figured you went through high school, you know what I mean? And
I'll tell you all about it. I'll tell you all about it.
Okay.
If you want.
I
This is
do
not
want.
what you asked me to
No,
say.
but I want to know.
Okay, I don't mind because I'm proud of it. I'm not ashamed of my past, and I'll be glad to tell you. Okay, now I don't know what to do now, to go back to Oakdale or continue on.
No, finish with what you were saying. You were 14 years old, working in the mill.
Okay, let me follow that and tell you all about myself, and then I'll
Okay.
come back to that.
Okay.
14, I wanted to go to work. So I quit school, 7th grade, and I went to work. Dr. Phil, my father was sort of a semi-boss there. Supervisor. No big thing. Fine man, intelligent, not politically. Where he came from, he couldn't get it. They just didn't have it. That's another story, and I don't want to get into that. It's not necessary. So I went, a short time after, I began to realize, hey, what's done? I began to go to night school. So I took shorthand, and I got anyway, this went on. Now, I was always interested in music. And my father had a little violin at home. And he had an accordion at home. And he would play it. He picked it up by himself in training. And to make a long story short, I picked up the violin too, and I began to fool around with it. I picked up the accordion, I fooled around with it. But he said, I don't want you to play the accordion. But when we used to go to work, I would sneak up, climb on the chair and get the accordion. So after a while, I was handed another piece. Boy, as badly as he, I don't know. I would say as badly as he. Anyway, this went on, and I became quite interested in the violin. Now, today's kids, Papa or Mama takes them by the hand and says, I'm going to get you a teacher. This didn't happen to me. I went out and looked for a teacher, and to me, in those days, a teacher was anybody who played. If you could play the violin, you were a teacher. I didn't know that. Today, I was a computer. Anyway, I looked around and I found a man that he worked in that, but he also taught the violin. So, Mr. Martin, taught music. You don't mind I use the word music?
No.
I mean, I don't feel prejudiced about anybody. So, take it. I mean, I'm very much disturbed about the attitude of most people. We've got to learn to accept people. The work they call that. Anyway, I studied with him, and then this went on for years. Then I got to the point where I could play, and I began to play with other people. So, make a long story on that. I got little orchestras, and I would go play parties, and I had a ball. I really had a lot of fun. And those days, music was a little different from today in that there wasn't a radio, it was phonograph, so that music was heard. When you go to a park and you hear a band, that was a treat. Today, maybe a nuisance. Today it's completely different. We have too darn much. That's not good either. Anyway, I had a ball, a lot of fun. Then, while I was engaged to be married when I was about 20, that and Peter out. Something happened. I won't go into that. That broke, and I kept studying. Then I met a very influential person in my life. His name was like mine. The last name was like mine. His folks had come from the same place mine had come. He had worked in the factory. He had got out of the factory. He was at this point a teacher in the New Conservatory. So you see now, here's a man that had so much in common, and I looked at him like that. I worshipped him. He was an unusual, he was a fine pianist, and one of the best teachers I've ever had. I've had a lot of them. And the way his method of teaching was very different. I had other teachers. I just spoke of one, the first teacher. I had others. This time went on, but this went on for years. Anyway, I finally, I got to know him, and I was working in the factory. 2 years after starting in the cotton factory, there was a bad year. I was fired. Don't ask me why. I know the reason why, but it was not a good reason. Anyway, I was fired, and I was fortunate. One of the families worked in the tack factory, 7-8 miles from Bay Haven. That was tack used. I don't know. No, it's a very well, there aren't many tack factories, so it's well known in the hardware industry. Atlas tack, hard work, lifting 100, well, in some way 100 pounds in the car. So that's where I spent, I'm jumping a little bit, that's where I spent 10 years. Meanwhile, this pianist teacher was given courses. I started studying. He was very good at what they call solfeggio. Now, you musically?
I know some, but I don't know.
Well, solfeggio actually is a study of basic music. It includes definition, it includes theory, it includes rhythm, it includes relative pitch. Now, unless you study that, and this is the best course I've ever seen. I've seen a few here, but the best course I've ever seen. We were very proud. Now, we studied it for 2 years intently. While I was working, I would go around with my notebook, walking up when I could, and I would be memorizing the rules and regulations. Anyway, this went on. Meanwhile, I'm playing, I'm studying, and this teacher of mine, we used to go there, let's say, Saturday night at 8 o'clock. He would get his counterpoint, fugue, harmony, solfeggio. He would deviate us up, a little French, a little German, for those who wished. I didn't take German. He was a real lover of knowledge, and he didn't take that. We gave him one lesson worth nothing, but he was getting kicked out. He was a singing man. That was his big thing. Anyway, at that point, I was about 20. I said to myself, what am I going to do? I look around and I see that there's Joe Blow, called Joe Blow. He's been here for 25 years. What do you think we're going to be doing if you get out? You're going to be here 25 years from now. Is that what you want? No. So I says, no, I don't want that. Making long story short, I talked to this teacher of mine, and I talked to my family, and I said I would like to get into music more seriously. Would you help me? Now, up to that point, I was getting, by the way, in those days, I was getting about $16 a week. That's not enough. Now,
Can't imagine.
And I tell you, it's work. I don't think you have experienced work. I've experienced work. I don't think you, today is a lot big difference. Imagine, that's what they get for an hour, some people, and more. Anyway, my pay envelope would be given to me from work, and I'd get home with it closed and hand it to my mother. That's the way it worked. That's the way things were. Then she would give me $1.50, from which came my lesson money and whatever. I never smoked now. I'm not a drinking person. I didn't run around, so I didn't even need it. I had food and clothing and so on. Just the money I needed was for lessons and that. Anyway, this went on. Finally, when I told my father I would like to change my way, he says, okay, we'll let you keep your pay whenever we can afford to. And I talked over with this instructor. Now, we became very friendly. And he says, yeah. He says, you won't make a fortune, but probably better off than working in the factory to give you something. So I pulled up stakes. I quit the work. I had $1,000 before. Yeah, that was the point. I saved $1,000. This was 1936.
Wait, you saved $1,000 from your parents putting it aside for you?
And whatever I played, any money I played, in the orchestra, low housing, living it. Not much, because you have an idea now what the standards were. Way down. It's hard to compare now. It's unbelievable. But that's it. I was thrifty. I was growing up thrifty, you know. A nickel was a lot of money. If you go to a theater, the movies was expensive. Well, okay. Here you are, $15. My father was making $22 a week. That was a pretty good pay, you know.
So you're making $16?
I was making $6 when I was in the station. So you see, we're talking about a different world. And we didn't have television, we didn't have cars, we took the trolley, we walked. I walked to work, and it was a good 2 miles along the shoreline, which means in the winter the wind would cut through you, but you get used to that. I mean, if you have to, you do it. We didn't know any other way. Anyway, that was what happened. So, I got $1,000 in the bank, I quit my work, and I went to the New England Conservatory. Yeah. Now, I've only gone as far as 7th grade, right? And no college will accept you unless you're a high school graduate, right? So they said, well, you can come, but we can't enroll you as a regular student, so you can take courses, and we'll credit you for them. So that's what they did. They accept, with the help of this instructor, he says, take this and take that. So in 1936, I came up, and I studied, and I knew studying. I wasn't here to fool around, not at the price I was paying. You know, it wasn't Daddy's money, it was my first tuition. And I had only $1,000. Oh, I forgot a little detail. I became known, people know you, in a little town, they get to know you. I was beginning to teach rather than beginner. And I became a pianist, and this family, the pianist, taught me the piano. I never became a very good pianist. Matter of fact, I'm really not a very good player, period, honestly. Go with the cat. What I did, the teacher would give me the homework. I would do it. As soon as I got through, I would go up to the desk handle, he'd correct it, give me the next assignment. So in 1 year, I did the whole field. And then I graduated, and that was Roosevelt Junior High. Then the next thing was the high school. Now, in high school, there was no exception. I mean, high school work, as you know, is not easy. So I sat down. Meanwhile, I'm still doing my teaching. I'm working harder on the piano. I had people, piano. I didn't do much playing. I didn't have, now I'm in high school, and that's a full-time job. Plus the fact that I was practicing. I was having a ball. I loved it. So this went on for 3 years, and when I got through, I got in the honor society, Then I got a scholarship from the conservatory. They gave me $100 scholarship at the time, and I'm saving money.
Mm-hmm.
I worked Saturdays and Sundays. I loved it. I really loved it. And that went on. So I got graduated from high school, New Bedford High School. And the following year, I enrolled as a regular. So that didn't make any sense to you now?
A student at the conservatory?
Now, New England.
Okay.
Right here on Huntington Avenue.
Okay.
So now I'm a regular student.
Uh-huh.
I have all the proper credentials as a student. And so Monday to Friday, I'm a student. Saturday night, I take the train, go back home, and earn my bread and butter.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that for quite a while.
You must have been determined. That's a hard
Well, I
schedule.
loved it. I really did.
Uh-huh.
It was fun. And this went on. In the summertime, I would have more time. I would practice. My schedule was 4 hours in the morning, violin. I'll alternate 1 hour on the violin, 1 hour on the piano, 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And in the afternoon, 1 hour on the piano, 1 hour on the violin. I used to say to myself, look, when you were working in the factory, what did you do? You worked 8 hours a day. Why can't you do it now? You know, this was my... And, however, I did like it. And then at night I would teach. The summer I'm talking about. And then the fall I'd go back to school. And again, school days I would be here. Weekends I would be in New Bedford teaching, making money. But never, I can brag about this, I was never given a nickel for my education. Not a nickel. I paid it all the way through. In the summer, I came later on, not the first year, I think it was the third year, I came to Boston. This is during the war. They rejected me. I have a bad eardrum.
Okay.
Perforated. They rejected me. So
That was for World War II?
Hmm?
Is that for World War II or World War?
Beg pardon?
Which war was it?
The one in Europe.
Okay, World War II?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not old enough for the first one.
That's true, I'm sorry.
It's 1970.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not that old.
That's right, yeah.
I was 7 years old when I was it. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. That man somehow, somebody there distracted me. Well, this went on for 3 years. I was taking the conservatory course. In summer I was working, I was getting money, and I kept this thing up. And finally, when I graduated, I went back home hoping to increase my teaching. And this is during the war, because I used to look around and say to myself, what's going on? I mean, what are the teachers? How are the teachers doing? Established teachers now. I'm talking about old timers. I'm just a newcomer.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that because of the war and the conditions, they couldn't make a living. They were working factories in wall plants.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, gee, if they can't make it and they're established, what's going to happen with me? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So that discouraged me quite a bit. Here's my brother working in a wall plant, making $100 a week. Mm-hmm. Here I am teaching my head off and making $15, $20 a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, today you wanted a lesson is $15, $20. Then 50 cents. Well, there you are. So you see, you're talking about a different world now. Mm-hmm. That was for my caliber. I was not an old timer. That was a reasonable price. So you see, it was not easy sailing. So I had my doubts too. Anyway, I finally decided to gamble and try something else. So I gave up my pupils. I came to Boston. With the help of one of the representatives of my town, I was given a temporary job in the State House. Mm-hmm. Temporary. Just to get me a foothold in this area, because I didn't want to start Boston. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I worked in the State House, and weekends I worked in the Parker House in the Williams Club. Mm-hmm. I was there for about 4 months. And then one of the people I met in the State House, a New Bedfordite, when you meet somebody from the town, there's something in common. So we began talking. He was a Harvard man, and he had his problems getting located. Anyway, we became friends, and he heard of this opening in the Blue Hills. You know anything about the Blue Hills?
No.
You know Milton at all?
No.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from New Jersey.
Oh, you don't. Anyway, that's going towards the Cape, Route 178. Blue Hills, you'll hear about it if you stay around here. The Great Blue Hills, there are 7 hills. Well, anyway, on top of there's observatory, a weather observatory. It was given by Lawrence Abbott, a meteorologist, built it and gave it to Harvard. It's a stone building. There's a radio station. Your TV station is up. One of them is up there. The FM tower is up there now. Anyway, this fellow said, "There's an opening up there. You want to try it?" Well, anything. So I finally, I accepted it. It was in August, 19. I got the year, right? 50, I forgot, maybe 49, 50. And I became what they call a resident observer, which meant I had to live there and take care of the place and take observations, weather observations, recording, changing charts, whatever. And for 3 years I stayed there. Now, I consider that as a pivot of my turning point. Now, I look a pivot. Here I am, and I don't know which direction to turn. I'm looking all around. Figuratively and almost literally, here I am. What shall I do now? What shall I do? Shall I go here? Shall I go there? Shall I do this? I was tempted to go back and take teaching in school. And then at that point, as you can see, I've been studying for years now. This is dragged on, And I'm no kid. I'm a normal man. I'm not the type that ran around with women. However, I like women's company, and I wanted a home. So all these things conflict. So I've always interested in electronics. Matter of fact, I'm interested in a lot of things, even now. So I wrote up to Smith electronic course, a beautiful course. I know people look down their noses on corresponding courses. They shouldn't. It's as good as you make it. It's as good as you make it. I took Smith. I really enjoyed it. And I got my diploma from them. That started me on the electronic path. Meanwhile, I was still not sure what to do. I applied at the Brown and Nichols School, that's a private school in Cambridge, private boys' school, and I was given a job there for 1 year, teaching the kids music. I didn't care for. I wasn't really too ready for that. I don't care for kids because I don't care for kids in the sense that they want to play around and not. I was a very serious student, and they just want to fool around, and that didn't fit my temperament. Anyway, that terminated, and that was the end of that. Meanwhile, I'm continuing with my studies on electronics, and I took another course in engineering, calculating. That wasn't easy. Believe me, it wasn't easy. Involved a great deal of mathematics. Then I became interested in amateur radio. You know what that is?
No.
You don't know what amateur radio is?
I don't think
so. It's a station, like your radio station, except that you own it and you have certain privileges. For instance, I can talk to almost anybody in the world. I have a station.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Amateur. I can't use it for money. I can't put music into it, but I can talk to any. You must have heard.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, I have a station, W1RPI. That's my station. I became interested in that, and I wanted that license. It's not easy to get. I had to work hard for it. Meanwhile, I also had to use there. radio station to talk to Mount Washington because I had to give them reports. I had to give them weather reports, and to the airport here in East Boston. I had to communicate certain time. Anyway, I became interested in electronics. Matter of fact, I made an invention. I made a rain detector, and I'm going to brag about it. I was the only first person to do it. A year later, somebody from Hopkins, an engineer from Hopkins College, made one. I saw it in the paper, but I made my first, whatever that means. Anyway, this went on. I kept on my studies on. I gave up music at this point. That was a pivot. I finally said, okay, let's try electronics. So I took my engineering course and television, and this is 3 years later. I met this woman. I'm going to jump a little piece and just give you the highlights. I became acquainted with this pianist. I wanted, as a matter of fact, the reason I said I'm looking for somebody, I like to put on a little program, get a pianist and play it. Maybe I can get established in Mattapan. That's where I was living. You know Mattapan?
Yes.
Well, that's where I was living later. This woman lived there, and I met her, and it was because I was looking for a pianist that I met her. Finally, I did meet her. The concert never materialized, but we became quite fond of each other, and I married her. Okay, so now I said to her, I'm waiting for my license, and when I do get my license, I'll go down and get a job, any job, and we'll get married. And that's exactly what I did. When I got my license, that was 3 years later, I came down. At that time, television was just coming out, 1949. And the Philco people, J.H. Burke, he was a franchise dealer for Philco television. I don't think they'd make any more Philco. No, but they did. It was a very big company. They hired me for television installation. I didn't care for it, but I had no choice. Anyway, I worked for them for 3 years. I completed my engineering course. Then I got my license. Well, make a long story short, I completed that, and they went out of business. They didn't know how to run a business. They lost money. I was the last man to quit. I wasn't fired. I quit because they just ran out. They sent me to Philadelphia. I was there a month training for their particular set. But it was a new thing. There was nobody trained for it. They just came out in the world, and there was no people already trained for that. So that took care of that. Okay. So I applied for the job on a Monday morning. On a Friday, I got a call from them. I had been other places, but the first place I went to, the first place I got, that's sort of coincidence. It was strange. Anyway, I got the job, so I told Frances, my wife, at the time, my girl, I says, I got a job, we get married, so I was 37 years old, an old man. So that's it. So she lived in Mattapan with her brother, in her brother's house. So I moved in with her. We got married, I moved in there. And there was a niece living there, and the brother-in-law. And it wasn't my home, I had to share it. I mean, like, my parents passed away during that time. We had property there, so I inherited that, a good stroke in my life. So I took that money and I bought the property I now have. One of the lucky breaks I've had in my life, because when I bought it, prices were low too. Now that my house is evaluated at $102,000, it's assessed at $102,000 probably. I know they've been selling for about $150,000. Crazy. But at the time it was way down, like all property. Well, that's it. My wife continued because she's a fine pianist. are really talented, much more talented than I was. See, it isn't how much training you get. You're born with certain potentials, and that's it. Now, some things I am much better. Mechanically, she wouldn't stand a chance. Musically, I wouldn't stand a chance. She was a natural.
Okay, so you moved into Oak Hill.
You
moved into Oak Hill Park at this point?
1954.
Okay.
And she continued teaching.
She taught from the house?
Beg pardon?
She taught from the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before that, she used to go to house to house. She used to have a friend. You know, she didn't have a friend in this section of the town. The kids would go there. Then in another part of the town, the kids would go there.
Okay.
And so on. To your names. Well, she continued. Then I'm not a good business person. I don't have a thick skin, and when you deal with the public, you need it. So I wasn't particularly happy with servicing television. I was servicing television.
Okay.
On the side, after work now, with my own time. Matter of fact, I was making more money fixing television at night. Very few people at the time. And I got to know those sets. I was right in it. I was just fresh and studying it and so on. I decided to look into MIT. They hired me, and I was there for 25 years.
What were you doing for them?
A technician, electronic technician. I did a little bit of engineering, but mostly constructing and a little designing. Lincoln Laboratory.
Okay.
Let me spell that out. Lincoln Laboratory is MIT's property or under jurisdiction.
Okay.
We started in Cambridge, the Whittemore Building, and the first big computer in the world was built there. I saw that. Whirlwind 1. It's now parts of it in the Smithsonian Institute. So
you're working at it. You didn't have any children? Did you have any kids?
No, at that point, both my wife and I was 37 years old. Especially men don't have a paternal instinct like women. Women, it's a natural, it's more of an urge to have children. If she wanted it, I suppose I would have consented. No, she didn't want it.
So she was very active in the community then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of things did she do?
She was a teacher.
Oh, so she always taught music?
She came to this because I was there.
Oh, okay.
She really didn't care for it.
Now, you didn't have cars then, did you?
Because?
You didn't have cars, did you, then? Cars?
Car?
Yeah, you didn't have a car? Yeah, did you have, what type of transportation?
I've always had a car.
You had a car in 1954?
Oh, yes. Matter of fact,
really?
The year I bought the house, I bought a 1954 Pontiac.
Oh, my. See,
Yeah,
I didn't
same
know.
year, yeah.
Oh, your wife had one also?
No, she never drove, never cared to. I wanted to teach her. I'm glad. She was not mechanically inclined. See, this is the difference in people. Mechanics was a zero for her. With me, I'm pretty good at mechanics.
So what did you do? Was there anything in the community for people to do if you didn't teach, and any type of social
She was
outlet?
teaching other kids there at the time.
But was there any social outlets, like, like you just built the community
between private
center?
people in their own private homes.
Oh,
That's
wow.
where this thing came into existence.
Okay.
The need of that.
Uh-huh.
The need of. I remember when I first moved in. Now this probably is what you want to. This is probably of interest to you. When I first moved in, I would walk. Both my wife and I, we like to walk, and I'll walk through the streets here. Are you familiar with the Old Hill Plaza?
Yeah, we went there to
It's
visit.
a cute little community.
Yeah.
And I would say, gee, someday I'll know all these people. That was the first year. And the second year I walked on, and I still didn't know them. And I'd say, someday I'll know all these people. And this went on and on and then on. I never got to know anybody. People are clannish. Fearful, I suppose, and this is not necessarily true of the open park. As I pointed out, I think we found that where people are, they are afraid of to face possible fear of being not fitting in or whatever. So people proceed with caution, and they click. You'll see that. I think that's why clubs exist. Because you go to a club that you think you like that you will be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
That you start off, so chances are that people in there are birds of a feather.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's
very
generally
true.
the case. Now, Oak Hill Park, as you can see now, is not a bird of a feather.
Yeah.
They're
Now, you
all-
said the community was all diverse, all ages now?
Oh yes, they're all ages now.
Was it the same
No.
then?
Beg pardon?
Was it the same when you
There was
moved in?
more younger people.
Uh-huh.
A doctor got out of college because he didn't have enough money. We had all of them then. And then 4 or 5 years later, out they go out and buy a house 3 or 4 times bigger. I saw that. I saw that right along. And maybe, well, today it's more or less becoming a mature, what do I want? Place, you know. It's more settled. It's more of a settled. People are getting older, they have to die, you know. As I pointed out, my wife is gone, and a lot of people. Robert is gone. Although Robert was a young fellow.
Yeah, you
Robert,
did say that. That was,
43 or so. But he's an exception.
yeah.
Okay, I'll stop talking about myself now. I'm a big show-off.
No, I wanted to hear, but actually you
well,
answered almost everything I wanted to ask.
Built for veterans. Here, just now, see?
Did you know about any of the commotion or controversy about building Oak Hill Park? Or
Repeat.
did you know any of the controversy that was going on before Oak Hill Park about it?
Controversy related to what?
To the building of Oak Hill Park.
Well, the city wasn't very anxious to give it.
They weren't.
No, they weren't. We had to say, look, these people in this community has it. These other people have it. Why can't we have it? You know, that was the argument. Well, now this is a later. This is in benefit of Truman. See, this is a Truman. They dedicated to him because he was such a. Here it is. Dedicated 1985. See, time goes by. I didn't realize it was that long. So this is in his honor. Now, I tell you what, if I can loan you this, but you must promise to return this.
No, what?
I mean, if you want any of this material,
Okay.
I'd be glad to do it, but you must promise. I mean,
I understand. These are keepsakes for you.
I'll live. Here's no, this is one that was dedicated. Here's the mayor. I know I'm probably there's the Queen, the alderwoman. I forgot now. I was there, Cynthia Queen. I was there at some point, but I probably never read this. I don't know. President Connor. Bill Chevelle, he's one of the aldermen now. This is a recent neighborhood news and so on. Well, I don't know what, I don't recall reading this. Sometimes I just toss them aside. Now, this is the Oak Hill Leisure Park. This is the one that this is my name, by the way.
Oh, okay.
That's my full name. Of course, everybody calls me Frank. In America, we haven't time to pronounce full names. We cut everything down. This is the program that we had. We welcome back everyone. Antonio Buck, PhD in anthropology. We had him talk and so on and so on. Regina. Okay, I'll just throw everything there. I'll glance and see if there's something that I think you might want to know. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Seems to be upside down.
Were there any schools in Oak Hill Park?
The Memorial School, I told you.
That was it? So
That was it. That was
so
the
how
kids.
did?
Well, there was the Newton. There's the Newton South High is 2 miles down the road, less than 2 miles. So, yeah, you go there. Apparently, they must have had the 8th, 7th grade there, and then you go to the Newton South High.
So it was only housing there. There was nothing else but houses and this one school that you're talking about
And
at that
this
point?
center, this shopping center.
Oh, that's right. You said the shopping center.
Shopping
Okay.
center, the school, houses. Well, remember, it was built for veterans.
That's true.
And
Was there?
that's what they started to do. They were not concerned about shopping centers at that point. That developed as the need and the people,
Grew.
what they did about it. No, this is Waltham. This is not ours. If you have any questions specific,
Yeah, so I was just looking over.
Yeah. I don't really know what I have here.
Were the people working mostly in the mills in Oakville, or
Mills?
or
No.
or what types of jobs?
Mostly professional and business. The Jewish people are great business people, and they're very. I've learned. I know that. I've lived most. I'd say most of my life I've been with Jewish people. They are a fine bunch of people. They're progressive. They're up, ambitious. Really, I've got to admire them. When I was brought up, in my little ignorant, little small world, the Jews were looked down on. Matter of fact, you probably don't know this, but the Catholic Church did not do a very good job. They always claimed that the Jews killed Christ, and for little minds, as I did have at the time, and unless you develop it, it remains little. That stigma remains and taints things. And I can recall the time, my thoughts at the time. The Jews were bad people, and they killed Christ. Now, that's not nice, is it, to kill people? I mean, now it's so ridiculous. Not only ridiculous, it's poison. And now the church has been clamped down, as you know. They've been saying, hey, you cut that stuff out, And now they're trying to, I'm speaking of the Catholic. I'm not a Catholic. Now, I don't believe in that faith at all. Some of their philosophies, I think, fine. They told me to be nice to people. They told me, yes, I don't call that being a Catholic. That's being decent, a human being. So I don't want to be labeled. I'm not a Jew. I'm not a Catholic. I don't want a label. I want you to size me up as you find me. And I like to think that I'm a human being, a universal citizen. I think I'm just making up that phrase. Yeah.
So they were mostly professional. It was a high Jewish population.
What?
Was there a high Jewish population?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, but I have a feeling that we probably will find half the population now. I'm guessing. I know a lot of Jews. For instance, the part of the street I live, let's call this Spires Road, all of it, and it's 3/4 of a mile roughly, from a half a mile to 5/8 long, from here to here, and that would be about a fifth. Every house except the corner, the Chinese, and the other one, but every other house, Jewish people. And then in the community, they're all Jewish. Let me see if this can happen. Now, for instance, Jewish, don't know her, Jewish, my wife, partly Jewish, Irish, a great deal. I'm guessing I've never, I don't know what this is now. Now, I'm going to do this for you if you wish.
Okay.
I'm going to give you the whole book, but you must promise. You have a car?
Yes, I do.
If you don't have it, I'll get it. Now, here's Robert's. What they dedicate. Here I am at City Hall with Robert when we signed the deed for the, and you can barely see me right there. This is Robert, and this is one of the city officials. And this is Simon Robin. Here's his wife, and here's his daughter and son.
Wait, this is the man who died?
This is the man who died, Robert. He's an attorney, by the way. This is one of the picnics. Well, if you want to browse through it, you may. These are programs that we had on the club. Scribbling. Here's, by the way, this is that in? You may have a copy of this if you wish, because I have some. This is the layout of the whole area. Oh, here I have extras.
Now, this is now?
Not quite. That whole area has undergone several changes.
Okay. What changes?
Okay. To begin with, the area started off with, now that I have a map, it'll be easier.
Okay.
Let's start off here.
Mhm.
The areas start here. Veterans homes,
Okay.
veterans homes.
Mhm.
Estes Farm,
Okay. And what was?
farm.
It was just a whole one person's farm.
Corn and potatoes and,
Oh, really?
yep.
Okay.
When I moved in, I'm
Uh-huh.
right here, 265.
Uh-huh.
I'm here.
Mhm.
We cross the street
Mhm.
and we'd go to Lenny's, my neighbor's backyard,
Mhm.
farm, pick the corn at the end of the season. It was the
Okay.
corn. We'd walk across the street back of his property, walk right to the farm.
Okay.
Okay?
So all of this is a farm in here, you're saying?
Well, roughly,
Okay.
no, Bon Temple, no, right here. Estes Farm,
Oh,
Road,
okay.
all this up to here. Here it is.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think it extended a little more here, but I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Now, the veterans, number one, this is the first, I'll repeat now, encompass veterans
Mhm.
homes.
Okay.
Then I think about 5 or some odd years later, this is called ranch homes.
Okay.
Round.
Mhm.
From here to here, split level. That's my house is split level.
Oh, okay.
There's a garage and there's the 2 levels.
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
That was, I repeat it, maybe about 8 years after this.
Okay.
I'm not sure the dates.
Mhm.
And then farm, land,
Mhm.
he began to sell a little piece here. He sold this right here, this plot,
Mhm.
and the builders come in and they built split level, but now the rooms are twice as big. The garages are 2 cars instead of 1. Same idea as mine, except 2s.
Mhm.
Everything larger, same picture, same pattern. Split level by 2.
Mhm.
Everything is double.
Okay.
Okay, that was the 1, 2,
Mhm.
3. Now, about maybe 10 years ago,
Mhm.
this little piece right here, roughly around here,
Mhm.
there's still a house. I think that may be the one. Yeah, this house is one of the old houses still standing there. Of all the places, this house still stands up, still stands there on top of a hill. This last piece was sold, and they built houses right over here. They are right here, and they're very fancy and very expensive. More so than these I told you, and more so than mine, and more so than these. So it evolved into.
Has the
They're
community?
custom, they're almost. Matter of fact, if you go on Dedham Street, here it is, and when you hit here, this house here, I think this is the one here, is very, very special design. This fellow tailor-made to his. No, not conventional at all. These were more or less built. These were semi-conventional, but very elaborate, made more expensive. These are all the same. Now, they're not the same anymore. A lot of people have bought them and expanded even up.
Okay.
They've even expanded them up. So some have made wings back wherever, and some have gone up. So they have two floors instead of one.
So would you say the community has changed a lot since you moved in?
Yes.
It
Yes.
has.
Oh, yes. Without about it.
Now here's the
You can still see occasionally the ranch single houses untouched.
Uh-huh.
You can spot them out. If you look around, you'll see just a plain little box. Just a little box like that with a roof. Here they are. Now, some have expanded on the back, some on the side, and some have gone up. So, but they were all originally built with one little box. Okay? That was the veterans. Okay? You want one of these? 'Cause I
Yeah,
have
I
extra.
think my
Yeah,
teacher
that
would really
one.
like this.
Yeah, I have, I didn't realize I had one.
Okay.
And if you want, just leave me one or two, will you?
No, this
Well,
is fine. You don't
okay,
need to
I
give me...
mean, I only want them to share them with them if I must share. Take that along, and you might, if you feel you need more material, and there is there,
Okay.
help yourself.
Thank you. I really appreciate this.
Well, I've talked to you.
I've been interested.
I'm taking these papers and
But thank you for the information you gave me.
Pleasure.